The spotlight now is on the aircraft recall by Airbus. Director General of Civil Aviation has issued an urgent notification on the mandatory modification and inspection of Airbus A318, A320, A321, etc. In the notification, the listed models have been asked to confirm the compliance in accordance to Airworthiness Procedure Manual Section 2. Joining us on the broadcast is my colleague Anand Singh with more details on the story. Anand, we are seeing the Director General of Civil Aviation issuing this urgent notification. Take us through the details.
Yes, Shivani, look, the way in which Airbus A320 aircraft recently experienced an commented and limited switchdown event in which the autopilot of the flight remained engaged throughout the event with a brief and limited loss of altitude and the rest of the flight remaining uneventful. So clearly, preliminary technical assessment was done by Airbus and it identified the malfunction of the affected ELAC as possible contributing factor for this loss of altitude in the flight. So clearly, to address the potential unsafe conditions, the Airbus issued the alert operator's transmission and providing instructions for software change or install a serviceable ELAC as applicable. So DGCA has now directed all the affected airlines that includes Indigo, Air India and Air India Express, which operates around 200 of the, especially Indigo operates 200 of A320, whereas Air India operates more than 111 and Air India Express operates 25 of such planes to get the software change. So clearly, this was mentioned by the Airbus on 28th of November, and DGCA today issued a compliance for the same, asking all the airlines to get this done. Whereas the Indigo has now notified the DGCA that 143 aircraft on which software upgrades have been complete, while out of the 113 aircraft that affected of the Air India, 42 aircraft software has been completed, and in 25 of the Air India Express, 4 planes have completed the software upgrade. So clearly, the DGCA has asked all the airlines to complete this software installation by November 30th. So clearly, by Sunday, they need to complete this installation, and their base point of completing the software installation will be Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, as well as Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and also Ahmedabad and Bangalore for Indigo. So clearly, these are the instructions that the DGCA has given in the wake of the software glitch that was recorded in an aircraft of the Airbus A320 during a flight. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anand. In fact, joining us also on the broadcast is Advocate Vaishnav Ajay Brahmankar, who is a civil litigation practice advocate at the Bombay High Court. Thank you, sir, for joining us. A very good morning to you. We are talking about this entire disruption in flight services, the recall by the Airbus. It's a big problem that has actually surfaced, and because the pilots cannot detect what is actually happening. This is going to affect a lot of people in India as well, because Indigo, which is one of the largest flight operators in the country, is affected, and they are one of the biggest operators of the Airbus service. Along with that, Air India is also going to be affected. So a lot of people are going to face cancellations and disruptions in their flight, because flights cannot fly if they do not upgrade their software.
Very highly likelihood of disruptions. The DGCA as well as the Indigo and the Air India Airlines are trying their best to fix this issue, as this has arrived from the previous incident from Mexico, where the aircraft's air system started to fail after an intense solar breakdown, I would say. So these adjustments currently are very much necessary, and the communication adjustments are very much necessary. For passengers, this would be a short-term pain for a long-term safety, because we don't want another Air India crash which had been took place that should be repeated once more. So such installations are very much necessary, coming up to the disruptions, as already India's 560 A320s, which are majorly affected aircrafts in these situations, and 200 of which have gone for a software update. 200 is a huge number, I would say, but there should be a proper reasoning by the aircrafts also for the passengers. As today morning when I was going through my X account, I saw a very well-known cricketer, Mohammad Siraj. He also had an issue in the Air India aircraft where his flight got for a delay of 4 hours. So such reasonings should also be very much validly justified by the DGCA, I would say, and this would take, I would say, few days to recover rather than a very much long time, which previously such incidents have took place.
Sir, obviously when we are looking at the consumer, say for example, because in the end a lot of people, there are 200 flights that are being affected in India, and we do not know how long this will actually take to rectify, because Airbus has actually recalled all the flights that are being affected by the software. So when we look at the consumer, how are they supposed to go forward with this, because they are looking at cancellations if they have some urgent immediate work?
As a consumer, see, this is a very frustrating point when you are traveling, and this is a, I would say, as we are arriving in December, this is a highly vacation zone. People are highly traveling from here and there, and domestic flights have been a major backbone of the Indian aviation, I would say. Consumers, I could understand there is a very big frustration which is going on. Compliance is also been granted by the aircrafts, air carriers, but such a compliance would, I would say, that would mentally fix the issue. I would say there should be a genuine framework or a issue which needs to be resolved, because cancellations have been a major drawback in the Indian aviation history. I would say there are few aircraft carrier which has been gone through this cancellation, and this is a major issue which we have been facing. So there should be a backup aviation plan, I would say, or there should at least be an increased sources of airplanes from other aircrafts to fix this issue, so that the consumer may not suffer. See, the suffer is not inevitable. Even this is not an intentional update which we are need, because this is for the safety of the people. So consumers needs to understand this factor also of them, because everything which is happening all around, it is for them also. But according to me, the aircraft must grant a better compliance to them, like at least increasing a different flow path, or at least increasing 2-3 more aircraft from the different airlines.